घंटे पहले प्रारंभ हो चुकी है। इस दौरान कई महत्वपूर्ण गतिविधियां पूरी की जा चुकी हैं तथा कुछ अंतिम कार्य तथा जांच बाकी है। उल्टी गिनती के दौरान PS2 तथा PS4 द्रवनोदक का भराव सुनिश्चित कर लिया गया है।
PS4 to VTC, all PS4 stage parameters are
RCT
normal.
रोल कंट्रोल थ्रस्टर्स तथा हीलियम गैस बॉटल्स में आवेशन पूरा कर लिया गया है। उपग्रह को पावर ऑन कर संचार एवं आदेश पथ की जांच कर ली गई है। सभी नेविगेशन तथा गाइडेंस संवेदकों का स्वास्थ्य जांच सुनिश्चित कर लिया गया है। PS4 और PS2 चरणों में अंतिम आवेशन तथा उड़ान पूर्व उचित दबाव सुनिश्चित किया गया है। रियल टाइम प्रोग्राम्स को भी ऑन बोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर लोड कर दिया गया है। सभी रडार स्टेशन से अनुवर्तन एवं संचार सेवाओं की पुष्टि की जा चुकी है। सभी तंत्रों के स्वास्थ्य जांच तथा पुष्टि के पश्चात सभी तंत्र निदेशक अपने तंत्रों की जानकारी जैसे यान निदेशक, उपग्रह निदेशक, रेंज निदेशक, टेलीमेट्री ट्रैकिंग एंड कमांड निदेशक अपने तंत्रों की जानकारी मिशन निदेशक को देंगे। उसके बाद सभी आंकड़े संतोषजनक प्राप्त होने पर मिशन निदेशक यान को प्रमोशन की अनुमति देंगे। तत्पश्चात यान निदेशक ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करेंगे।
Today's launch will be one of the debris-free space mission of Isro. The fourth stage will be brought to 350 kilometers unstable orbit after the injection of EOS-09 satellite in precise orbit, thereby facilitating its re-entry and incineration in Earth's atmosphere in a long time thereafter. Isro aims to achieve best-in-class capabilities and place itself in a capable position with its space asset. EOS-09 satellite will join the fleet of emerging satellites empowering India.
Spacecraft Director to Mission Director. Spacecraft is configured for launch mode and it's healthy. EOS-09 is cleared for launch.
Mission Director, Roger.
उल्टी गिनती जारी है।
Range is ready for PSLV-C61 E09 launch. Mission Director, Roger.
सुना रेंज ऑपरेशन निदेशक ने अपने तंत्रों की जानकारी मिशन निदेशक को दी।
Supporting PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission. Mission Director, Roger.
TC, data loggers are on it, SHAR-1 and SHAR-2 stations.
Roger. Good morning, everybody. This is Mission Director. Mission Readiness Review and Launch Authorization Board have already given clearance for proceeding with the countdown and launch of PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission. All operations in the countdown sequence till automatic launch sequence have been completed satisfactorily. Based on the clearance obtained from launch vehicle, spacecraft, range and distract network stations and prevailing favorable weather conditions, Mission Director hereby authorizes to initiate launch operation sequence for the launch of PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission at 5:59 hours IST today, that is the 18th of May 2025.
All stations note, Mission Director has given authorization for the launch of PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission.
Based on the authorization from Mission Director, Vehicle Director hereby authorizes to initiate the automatic launch sequence for the launch of PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission at 5 hours 59 minutes IST today, that's 18th May 2025.
T-minus 15 minutes.
अभी
Automatic launch sequence initiated for PSLV-C61
मिशन निदेशक ने इस प्रमोशन की अनुमति दे दी है। PSLV-C61 EOS-09 के प्रमोशन की अनुमति प्राप्त होते ही यान निदेशक ने ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस चालू करने का अनुमोदन दे दिया है। इसके पश्चात ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू हो चुका है। ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस यानी अब मिशन कंप्यूटर्स की मदद से सारी प्रक्रिया, गतिविधियां तथा आंतरिक जांच शुरू की जा चुकी हैं। ALS पूर्ण होने पर ऑन बोर्ड कंप्यूटर स्वतः ही प्रथम चरण के प्रज्वलन का आदेश प्रदान करेगा।
The countdown for the mission has been 22 hours long. Precisely timed activities on the launch vehicle and satellite are carried out in this duration. The liquid propellants are serviced into the launch vehicle stages. Gas bottles on board the launch vehicle are charged. Onboard batteries are
14
charged.
minutes.
The range tracking
PS2 Rodan
systems
chain,
check
control
and
system
recheck
actuation
their
in progress.
operational capabilities and compatibility with the launch vehicle. The vehicle control systems are verified for their appropriate functionality. Meteorology systems at SDSC SHAR acquire timely weather parameters and give input to the day of launch wind biasing program, which ensures that there is minimal aerodynamic loading on the launch vehicle during its atmospheric flight. Now it is T-minus 15 minutes. All systems converging towards full readiness for the launch. The automatic launch sequence also has been initiated. From here on, the ground computers will run a predetermined capsule of checks on the launch vehicle systems in a period lasting 14 minutes prior to T0. Very close to T0, the control is passed on to the onboard computers for the ignition of first stage at T0.
उड़ान की उल्टी गिनती जारी है। अब हम
PS4
उड़ान
control
से
system checks in progress.
12 मिनट दूर हैं। इस दौरान आपको संक्षिप्त में इस प्रमोचक यान की जानकारी देते हैं। PSLV-C61 प्रमोचक यान का प्रथम चरण ठोस नोदक वाला S139 चरण है। यह उड़ान PSLV संस्करण में है और इस संस्करण में इसकी 27वीं उड़ान होने जा रही है। एक्सेल में प्रथम चरण के साथ 6 स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर संलग्न हैं। हर एक स्टेप ऑन बूस्टर 12 टन के ठोस नोदक से बना हुआ PSOM चरण कहलाता है। प्रथम चरण के ऊपर तरल नोदक वाला L40 स्टेज है। इसमें लगभग 40 टन पृथ्वी भंडारणीय प्रणोदक का प्रयोग किया जाता है। इसके ऊपर तृतीय चरण में ठोस नोदक वाला HPS3 हाई परफॉर्मेंस PS3 स्टेज है। यह सम्मिश्रित या कंपोजिट पदार्थ से बनाया जाता है। यह भी ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण है। इसके ऊपर में चतुर्थ चरण है जो कि फिर से तरल नोदक मोनोमिथाइल हाइड्रोजीन और मिक्स ऑक्साइड्स ऑफ नाइट्रोजन का इस्तेमाल करते हुए उपग्रह को उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित करता है। इसके अलावा इस मिशन में भी चतुर्थ चरण के मुख्य उद्देश्य यानी EOS-09 उपग्रह को उच्च कक्षा में अंतक्षेपित करने के पश्चात OCT यानी ऑर्बिट चेंज थ्रस्टर्स की मदद से चतुर्थ चरण को निचली कक्षा में लाया जाएगा, जिससे इसकी कक्षीय उपस्थिति को कम करते हुए इसे पूरी तरह निष्क्रिय किया जाएगा। इतना ही नहीं, EOS-9 उपग्रह भी अतिरिक्त ईंधन रखा है, जिससे उपग्रह को अपने 5 साल के सेवा काल समाप्ति के बाद निचली कक्षा में लाकर निष्क्रिय किया जा सकता है। यह इसरो की समाज एवं विश्व की के लिए प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है।
As we wait for the launch, let me describe the critical mission events that will take place in the launch. T0 marks the ignition of the core S139 based PS1 stage and liftoff takes place.
PS2
Ground lit
prime chain
strap-ons
checks in
ignite
progress.
400 milliseconds later and air-lit strap-ons ignite 25 seconds into flight. The action time for strap-on motors is approximately 70 seconds and ground-lit and air-lit strap-ons will separate from the ongoing launch vehicle in their respective timeline at altitude of 20 kilometers and 47 kilometers respectively. The first stage, PS1, separates 111 seconds into flight and 200 milliseconds later, the second stage, PS2, ignites. The operation time for PS2 stage for present mission is 152.5 seconds, during which the launch vehicle reaches 232 kilometers altitude. As the dense atmosphere is crossed during PS2 regime, 152.5 seconds, during which the launch vehicle reaches 232 kilometers altitude. As the dense atmosphere is crossed during PS2 regime, 2 major flight events take place. The closed-loop guided correction with respect to final injection conditions of the satellite. Also, since there is no atmosphere around to cause heating, the payload fairing is jettisoned. The ignition of PS3 stage takes place about 1 second after the separation of PS2. This solid motor stage thrusts for 122 seconds before burnout. For another 105 seconds, the launch vehicle continues to coast with PS3. After the separation of PS3, the coast phase continues for 10.4 seconds. The relative velocity of 6 km per second acquired by the launch vehicle at PS3 burnout is sacrificed marginally during the coasting phase to gain remarkable 628 km in altitude. The fourth stage, PS4, commences its operation 8 minutes 23 seconds into flight and continues to operate 8 minutes 29 seconds. The PS4 burns out at 16 minutes 52 seconds into flight. The launch vehicle then waits for the attainment of 534.86 kilometers of altitude for the injection of EOS-09 satellite.
अब आप सभी दर्शकों के सामने प्रस्तुत है PSLV-C61 EOS-9 का कर्टेन रेजर वीडियो.
Minus 8 minutes.
In the ever-evolving landscape of Earth observation, satellites have emerged as silent sentinels orbiting high above, capturing critical data that shapes the way we respond to environmental challenges. From monitoring climate change and extreme weather to improving agriculture and disaster response, Earth observation technology is becoming the cornerstone of a sustainable future. The Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, has been at the forefront of this revolution, transforming lives and driving national progress through its state-of-the-art Earth observation satellites. On May 18th, 2025, ISRO is gearing to script yet another glorious chapter with the launch of its Earth observation satellite, EOS-09, from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre, SDSC Shar in Sriharikota. EOS-09 will work in tandem with its highly successful predecessor, EOS-04 satellite, to ensure seamless continuity of vital C-band microwave data, enhancing Earth observation capabilities. The spacecraft is configured using ISRO's RISAT-1 heritage bus, with most of the functional requirements of the synthetic aperture payload, SAR, and the bus platform systems have been derived from the earlier ISRO missions. The radar payload will be used to monitor vital applications such as agriculture, forestry, plantation, etc. in all weather conditions. It is also used for assessment of flood inundation as well as to detect very feeble surface water spread. The EOS-09 satellite is designed with an approximate mass of 1,700 kilograms, mission lifespan of 5 years. The ever-dependable PSLV-C61 rocket XL version, celebrated as the workhorse of ISRO, is set to launch the EOS-09 satellite into a sun-synchronous polar orbit. With 63 successful missions, including Chandrayaan-1, Mangalyaan, Aditya L1, and multiple launches for global customers, PSLV stands as an outstanding symbol of Indian ingenuity and reliability. This mission also exemplifies ISRO's commitment to space sustainability. EOS-09 is designed as a debris-free mission with provisions to deorbit the satellite at end of life. The PSLV's final stage will also be maneuvered to a lower orbit to ensure early atmospheric re-entry, reinforcing India's pledge to protect the space environment. As the nation turns its gaze to the stars once more, EOS-09 stands as a symbol of innovation, resilience and global responsibility. It reflects India's enduring vision to harness space for the betterment of Earth and common man.
T-minus 4 minutes.
We are 4 minutes away from the launch. The PSLV or Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle is a 4-stage launch vehicle with alternate solid and liquid stages. The first stage, called PS1, is a solid motor based on hydroxyl-terminated polybutadiene. 139 tons of propellant loading is the reason why it is called the S139 motor. The thrust of PS1 is supplemented by 6 strap-on motors, which are also HTPB-based solid motors with 12.2 tons of propellant each. The second stage operates on hypergolic earth-storable liquid propellant combination of UH-25 and N2O4. The legendary Vikas engine powers this stage. 41 tons is the propellant loading, stage diameter 2.8 meters and height 12.8 meters. The third stage is again a solid propellant stage carrying 7.65 tons propellant. It is 3.6 meters high. The PS4 is the fourth stage powered by twin pressure-fed liquid engines using monomethyl hydrazine and mixed oxides of nitrogen. It has 2.5 tons propellant loading. The PSLV has a height of 44.5 meters and is of 321 ton liftoff mass.
अब हम उड़ान से 2 मिनट 20 सेकंड पर हैं। PSLV-C61 EOS-09 मिशन का घटनाक्रम कुछ इस प्रकार होगा। सर्वप्रथम T-2.8 सेकंड पर RCT का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा और ठीक T0 पर प्रथम चरण के कोर बूस्टर का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा। प्रथम चरण के कोर बूस्टर के प्रज्वलित होते ही 400 मिलीसेकंड पर 4 ग्राउंड लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन यानी भूमि पर ही प्रज्वलित होंगे ये स्ट्रैप-ऑन बूस्टर्स। 6 में से 4 का प्रज्वलन भूमि पर किया जाएगा तथा 2 का कुछ ऊंचाई पर किया जाएगा। इसे एयर लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन कहते हैं। प्रथम चरण T+69 सेकेंड्स पर ग्राउंड लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन का कार्यकाल समाप्त होते ही यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा। इसके 25 सेकंड के पश्चात एयर लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को भी यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा और कुल 111 सेकंड पर प्रथम चरण को यान से वियोजित किया जाएगा। द्वितीय चरण का कार्यकाल इसके बाद प्रारंभ होगा और इस दौरान द्वितीय चरण के दौरान यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत होगा और इसी दौरान ही 115 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई पर ऊष्मा कवच को यान से पृथक किया जाएगा। अब हम उड़ान से 50 सेकंड की दूरी पर
-45 seconds.
सभी दर्शक हमारे साथ बने रहिए।
PS2 VHPP open.
T-35 seconds.
-30 seconds.
Real-time programs activated.
-25 seconds.
PS2 VSPP open.
-20 seconds. -15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. +5 seconds.
Liftoff normal.
Auto tracking.
PSLV-C61 का सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन प्रथम प्रमोचन मंच से अपने उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर अपना सफर जारी कर चुका है।
There's a magnificent liftoff. The morning sky made brighter by the PSLV. EOS-09 on its journey to orbit. The vibration of the rocket launch is indeed to the
Plus 40 seconds.
गर्जना करता हुआ PSLV-C61 आकाश में पूर्ण गर्जना से सबको अचंभित करता हुआ अपने उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर जा रहा है।
First stage performance.
प्रथम चरण का
Plus 1
निष्पादन,
minute.
सभी तंत्र पूरी तरह सामान्य कार्य करते हुए।
Shar ground station currently tracking the launch vehicle and will continue to track till PS4 ignition around 500.
Ground lead strap on separated. P2 change over to SCBT2.
ग्राउंड लेड स्ट्रैप ऑन को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है। इस घटनाक्रम में अगला एयर लेड स्ट्रैप ऑन को पृथक किया जाना है।
The ground lit strap-ons have been separated from the ongoing launch
Air lead
vehicle.
strap on separated.
And just now we have a confirmation that the air lit strap-ons have also been jettisoned. Trivandrum station joined for the tracking. Action time for PS1 is 112 seconds for
First
this
stage
mission.
separated. Second stage engine started.
यह इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है। प्रथम चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है उसके कार्यकाल के पश्चात और द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
Second stage performance normal.
The second stage has commenced its operation. 152.5 seconds action time for this mission.
द्वितीय चरण जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित L40 चरण है, इसमें लगे विकास इंजन की मदद से यह प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। इसका कार्यकाल लगभग 152 सेकंड का होगा। पूरे सभी तंत्र सामान्य निष्पादन करते हुए और यान उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
The hydrate of unsymmetrical dihydrazine is the fuel and dinitrogen tetroxide is the oxidizer, both of which merely need to come into contact to be able to burn. They are called hypergolic propellants. Vikas engine with a thrust capability of 73.9 tons powers this stage.
अभी अभी इसकी पुष्टि की गई।
Second stage
ऊष्मा कवच
performance
को यान से
normal.
पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा यान अब क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत कार्य कर रहा है।
Current altitude is 168 kilometers. Closed loop guidance has been initiated and the payload fairing has been jettisoned.
इस यान के अनुवर्तन के लिए 3 ग्राउंड स्टेशंस हैं। शार स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन, त्रिवेंद्रम तथा मॉरिशस स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशंस हम तक यान आंकड़े उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं। वर्तमान में शार तथा त्रिवेंद्रम स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशंस इसे पूर्णतः ट्रैक कर रहे हैं।
Plus 4 minutes.
We are 240
Second stage
seconds into
performance
launch.
normal.
द्वितीय चरण का निष्पादन पूरी तरह सामान्य। कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे द्वितीय चरण का कार्यकाल समाप्त होते हुए तथा इसे यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
Second stage separated. Third stage ignited.
जैसा कि अपेक्षित था, द्वितीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है और उसके तुरंत बाद ही तृतीय चरण ठोस नोदक वाले
Third stage
तृतीय
performance
चरण का
normal.
प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
The third stage of PSLV has been ignited and it's performing normal. 122 seconds or 2 minutes approximately is the action time. PS3 adds significant relative velocity
5 minutes.
to the launch vehicle. It is increased from 4 kilometers per second to 6 kilometers per second at the time of its burnout.
यह तृतीय चरण है PSLV का। इसका कार्यकाल लगभग 122 सेकंड का होगा। इस दौरान यह कुल 480 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है। इस दौरान दिशा निर्धारण के लिए फ्लेक्स नोजल कंट्रोल का प्रयोग करते हुए यह अपना दिशा निर्धारण कर रहा है। यान पूर्णतः अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करते हुए जा रहा है। यह दर्शाता है कि गुणवत्ता कितनी सटीक है, आंकड़े कितने सटीक हैं। यान की ऊंचाई 326 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 5.6 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।
So you're looking at the live visuals coming in from Isro, gliding through the air and heading towards its mission. It's a proud moment for India. Another Isro satellite launch taking place. The PSLV-C61 mission that exemplifies India's prowess in space technology, launching the EOS-09 satellite into the orbit. And this is going to be very significant because it will provide high-resolution Earth observation data for the country.
और उसके बाद एयर-लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को प्रज्वलित किया गया था और इसी क्रम पर ग्राउंड-लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को यान से पृथक किया गया, फिर एयर-लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को यान से पृथक किया गया।
The launch of PSLV-C61 EOS-09 mission had taken place at 5:59 hours IST from Sriharikota, the Satish Dhawan Space Centre. The first and second stage have performed nominally. Ground stations were about to track them.
वर्तमान में मॉरिशस त्रिवेंद्रम स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन इसे ट्रैक कर रहा है।
So the first and the second stage have been completed, and it is currently in the third stage, and it's all going according to plan. In fact, the ISRO has launched the satellite that can see through clouds and at night, and this will boost India's satellite-based surveillance capability as India will stay alert despite for any threat that comes in. In fact, this is going to be an all-weather look into the Earth's surface. My colleague Dharani is live on the broadcast with us with the details. Dharani, this is a very significant moment for ISRO, for the country as well. Take us through what you're seeing there, what you're witnessing there. Of course, we are looking at the scientists who have toiled for years together for this big moment, waiting anxiously to announce that this has been a success.
Well, this is ISRO's 101st mission, and just a few seconds before we saw the PSLV-C61 carrying EOS-09 into the space, into its orbit. And 17 minutes after the liftoff, this satellite will be injected into its orbit, is what we're given to understand. So we have to wait and see, if this mission is going to be a success. But from the looks of it, this seems to be pretty much a huge success. And as far as the mission's highlights are concerned, this is an Earth observation satellite. India has already launched multiple series of Earth observation satellites like the ResourceSat and Cartosat, and this is also an Earth observation satellite. And the speciality is that this EOS-09, this will enhance the nighttime surveillance capabilities of India that the country has at the moment. In fact, this indigenous satellite will provide high-resolution images of the Earth's surface in all the climatic conditions, in all weather conditions, and also in low light. As you rightly said, this satellite can see through clouds, and this can also see through the night. So that is the speciality of this particular satellite. And of course, as I already mentioned, this is not the first time India is launching a satellite with such characteristics, but the resolution of the images that we are going to get through this particular satellite will be higher than the previous missions, is what the sources in the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota, they are telling us. So 17 minutes from the liftoff, that is when the satellite will be injected into its orbit, and the lifespan of this particular satellite is said to be 5 years. So 5 years the satellite will continue to send high resolution images of the Earth's surface, and the output that we are going to get out of this mission, they will be used in multiple fields. For example, it will be used in agriculture, forestry, urban planning, disaster management, and also national security. National security is the key sector here, because for the past 3 weeks we've been observing what is happening between India and Pakistan after the Pahalgam attack, and also the successful execution of Operation Sindoor by the Indian Armed Forces. So at this juncture, round-the-clock monitoring of all the seashores, the 7,000 kilometer stretch seashores, the borders, and also the entire northern part of India becomes crucial. This satellite will also play a very crucial role in this particular area, is what the scientists tell us.
Okay, all right. So it's an indigenously made spy satellite, very crucial for India. We have guests joining us this morning. Jijit Nadamuri Ravi, former scientist at Isro, was also part of several GSLV launches and the Chandrayaan as well. We also have Mr. Suresh Nayak, former group director of Isro, with us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and a very good morning to you. And what a wonderful morning it is. It's the 101st mission of Isro, and one of the most unique parts of it, apart from, of course, providing all-weather look at the Earth's surface, is also the fact that this is going to be a debris-free mission for Isro. So it's a very, very big milestone for Isro, 101st mission, and what a mission it looks like. So Jijit, first, before we come to the significance of it, it's a day where there is a lot of excitement in the air, and now there is so much interest in the space explorations in India. I'm sure people across the country are awake, looking at this mission and praying for it to be a success, like many others for Isro.
Yes, and this is one of its kind mission which is focused on the Earth. Like that is why it's the Earth observation in contrast to the previous missions which are onto the different planets and the space missions. And it's very crucial at this current moment where we have the escalation with Pakistan. So one of the main purpose of this mission is to look closely onto the borders, and we are actually having 1 meter resolution, and if it can even go even a little more detail, because 1 meter resolution we have achieved much earlier. So we have very high resolution and a focused spotlight kind of feature where we can actually observe very close to localized regions. So that is another possibility of this mission. It is have multispectral remote sensing capability. That means it can look at the night, it can look through the clouds. So this is extremely crucial for defense, but also agriculture.
Just a moment.
The functioning of the third stage, we are seeing a observation, and the mission could not be accomplished. After analysis, we shall come back. Thank you.
Okay, all right. We just got an update that the mission could not be accomplished. That's the announcement that just came in. So Jijit Nadamuri, my apologies, we had to cut across to the live. But the announcement that has just come in is that while the first 2 stages were normal, the mission could not be accomplished.
Okay, that's a very rare for a PSLV launch.
Okay.
Because the success rate is very high. And we need to find out what was the cause for the third stage. Yeah, right. So definitely this is a kind of very rare event.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Suresh Nayak, as of now, the only announcement that has come in from Isro is that the mission could not be accomplished. What we do know is the first 2 stages went according to plan, and it was in the third stage where we saw some anxiousness in the air, after which the announcement came in that the mission could not be accomplished. Further details on that are still expected. What do you think could have happened?
Yeah, it is. You see, the space business is a very risky business, as we all know. We all try to make it very reliable, and we learn from the mistakes. And next missions, we improve the technology wherever the fault is. And but however, this PSLV was our workhorse, and it never in the recent years gave any problem. And this is a very rare instance where something has happened in the third stage, particularly in the liquid stage. And what happens is, after completion of the second stage mission, it's
just a moment. Let's cut across
in
to
the functioning of the third stage. We are seeing a observation, and the mission could not be accomplished. After analysis, we shall come back. Thank you.
Okay, so the statement being that there has been an anomaly that has been witnessed, but a detailed briefing will only be done later. But at the moment, the only announcement coming in is that the mission could not be achieved. Mr. Suresh Naik, go on. You were saying what it could be and what could have gone wrong.
Yeah, so what happens is actually every stage completes its job and gets detached and then falls in the sea. And that is what exactly happened for the first two stages perfectly. First and second stage worked very well. And when the second stage completed its job, took the satellite at a particular height and in the particular direction, and it also got detached, but must have been happened that a third stage, I think, might not have ignited. You see, the ignition has to happen after the detachment of the preceding stage. If that doesn't happen, then the whole mission is failure. And that could be the first prima facie observation. Now, why it did not happen is the really matter of deep analysis after gathering the data. Isro is quite capable of carrying out the analysis, and they will soon come out with the reasons for that. And actually what I wanted to say is Isro has already got 10 satellites in the orbit doing a similar surveillance job and trying to protect our borders. If you remember, in 2016 that was our satellite which provided the precise locations of the terrorist places, and that is how we could carry out the attack. That was a surgical attack.
Okay.
And then the second one was in 2019. Again, satellite came to the help of Army, and then they provided the precise locations of the terrorist places and conducted the airstrike, right? So it is actually carrying out a very strategic job, these satellites in the sky, and they are helping the country to really attack the enemy in the locations which they want. In the recent attack after the Pahalgam incidents, also satellites have really yeah.
Okay, all right. Just a moment. Let me also go across to my colleague Dharani, who's also on the broadcast with us. Dharani, doesn't look like things went on as planned. Any details emerging from there?
Well, we're given to understand that the mission could not be accomplished as planned. The first two stages of the mission was normal and successful, but during the third stage, something abnormal was noticed by the scientists, is what we to understand at the moment, but further details are awaited. What is the technical glitch exactly, something that we have not been told yet, but the mission could not be accomplished is something that we are able to confirm at the moment. So definitely not a result we all expected. So let's wait and see what is going to be the explanation from the side of the ISRO team, from the side of the ISRO chairman. But of course they've announced that the mission could not be accomplished as planned, and the third stage, some abnormalities, something unusual was noticed in the third stage. The first two stages of the mission were completely normal and successful, but during the third stage some technical glitch was noticed, and right now they're trying to figure out what this technical glitch exactly is and what is this abnormality exactly is. And sometime from now we can see a formal press conference from the ISRO team. ISRO chief himself is expected to address the media, and at that time he'll be elaborately telling what the problem exactly is, where the problem exactly lies. But for the time being, definitely a very sad news for all of us, for the whole country, that the EOS-09 mission could not be accomplished as planned, and this mission's objective was to provide high resolution images of the Earth's surface in all climatic conditions, in all weather conditions, and also in low light. That was the core objective of this mission. This satellite was equipped to provide such high resolution images of the Earth's surface, but the launch happened around 5:59 a.m. From the first launch pad in the Satish Dhawan Space Centre here in Sriharikota. 17 minutes into the launch is when the satellite was expected to be injected into the orbit, but during the third stage something unusual was noticed, and the mission could not be accomplished as planned. So let's wait for for an official information from the ISRO side. Let's wait for the press conference where they will be dwelling into the details of this particular technical glitch. But for the moment we can confirm that this has happened, and it is definitely a very sad news for all of us, not something that we expected today.
Okay, all right, but I'm sure lessons have been learnt. Mr. Jidit, can you tell us how ISRO will look at it and what are the lessons that can be learned from it, because it will be helpful for the future missions, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, it's a very rare mission. For example, if I remember something which has happened in 1993, like the PSLV-D1, that is in the development stage of PSLV, that kind of graph I'm seeing, because as the ground correspondent has mentioned, one is this failure. The ignition failure is the main possible culprit, but it can also be the separation mechanism related issues. And we have to anyway wait for the press briefing from the chairman. But definitely, as I mentioned, I will not use the word lessons learned, because we have so many number of successful launches. Even the PSLV is something like a proven launch vehicle, and it is very rare to have a third stage anomaly for a PSLV, which has happened only in the PSLV-D1, that is development stage, as old as 1990s. So that's something that is I'm looking at, but definitely what is the kind of mistakes, small mistakes that we can actually figure out by analyzing the data. So definitely we need to look at this the separation failures, that the graph definitely looks like that, but ignition failures or even temperature and height, there is a possibility of thermal issues. That also we need to figure out, like whether there is any burnout happened in the third stage for any of the pyro rockets for the separations. So definitely, but we will await for the details of the mission. But of course, it's very unfortunate for all of us who are focused onto the rocket science to have this kind of an anomaly at such kind of a very crucial stage. But definitely, we have many satellites which does kind of function, and as I just was about telling, like 1 meter resolution is already achieved, but maybe perhaps the high quality multi resolution and multispectral observation of the Earth is what we will be lacking because of the loss of this satellite. But definitely we will learn more information subsequently from the briefing. That's what I would say.
Okay, all right. Let's wait for the briefing to come in from ISRO for a better understanding of what actually went wrong. But Mr. Suresh Nayak, how does it work usually in missions that don't accomplish what they set out to? How does the ISRO work from there? Is it going to be back to learning lessons, looking at what went wrong and then relaunching the same?
Yeah, actually what happens is when we encounter this kind of failures, then immediately, normally, a failure analysis committee of the experts is constituted by the chairman, and then they independently study all the data which has been received, and they find out the anomaly, cause of the anomaly, and then they submit the report, and then that according to the corrections recommended by that committee, the corrections will be carried out. Again, there will be a trial, I think, and then the next mission will be undertaken. Till then, the next PSLV mission is difficult to undertake at that time. But that is the process when any failure takes place during the flight. And this is will happen. And this is a normal procedure which I've been observing for years now. And actually what happens is, you see, there is a deep kind of study needs to be carried out to go to the root cause of the failure. That is most important, because we spend a lot of money on these projects, and we have to learn from the failures, and that is how ISRO has been progressing over the period of time. And definitely they are in a position, they are capable of carrying out that kind of analysis and pinpointing the failure, and then carrying out the correction, so that we again learn from this mission. And what I was also going to say is our India's plan, as been explained by Chairman ISRO recently. You see, we have already got IRS EOS-09, and this was only complementing the data received by that, because what happens is a satellite takes around 90 minutes to go around the Earth, okay? And if you want to monitor the border, a particular location, let us say you want to monitor a airfield in the Pakistan area, then after 90 minutes it will come to the same spot, right? So we want that 90 minutes time to be reduced as much as possible. So we have multiple satellites. So 10 satellites have already reduced that time of periodicity, and now we can frequently monitor the border. But as Chairman has announced, in the next 5 years, there will be the number of satellites carrying out such kind of work, and of course, in addition to the other tasks, 50 number of satellites. Okay, so we will be able to continuously monitor any particular spot military wants, and because they will get the data, and there will not be much gap between the two observations of the satellite. So that is very important, because in 90 minutes, that this gap which is there are many things are happening on the ground, and that has to be reduced. So we need around 50 satellites, and that will take another 5 years, and we will be then fully capable of monitoring our borders, ourselves.
Okay, all right. So it's not going to affect our Earth observation at the moment, is what you're saying. The EOS-09 was to be an addition to the constellation of about 57 satellites that India already has in space, and this is the 101st mission of ISRO. It was a big moment, but unfortunately there seemed to be a snag at the third phase, after which ISRO has said that the mission was not accomplished. A detailed analysis will be done, after which ISRO will also brief the media. With that, we're slipping into a very short break here. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.